will get the chicken wing before he can do the headbutt.
Welcome everyone to another edition of When Wrestling Was Wrestling. This is the third in this new series. This has an amazing story behind one of the greatest wrestling family feuds of all time. It all began in the summer of 1979 when Ron Fuller and his father Buddy Fuller were Southeastern tag champions in the Knoxville territory. Jimmy Golden was their manager for the title match against Toro Tanaka and Mr. Fuji, managed by Don Carson. As the Fullers were about to win the match, Jimmy Golden attacked Ron from behind, ran him into the ring post, then rushed into the ring and stomped Buddy Fuller off of a pin and prevented the win. It was the first time Jimmy Golden had turned heel in his 9-year career, and the beginning of this great family feud. Fast forward 2 years to 1981. Golden, after a terrible back injury 9 months earlier, was returning to the ring. After his return, he seemingly had total change of attitude and wrestling style, even saving his cousin Ron Fuller a couple times from injury from the same wrestlers Golden was now wrestling against. This brings us to our first video of the story. Soon after returning to the ring, Golden was on Southeastern Television's Personality Profile segment in January of 1981. The video tells the story of who Jimmy Golden had become.
You might not know, Jimmy in the past year, the year 1980, and went back into 1979, you had quite of a personal thing against some of your relatives in wrestling, namely the Fuller family, Robert and Ron Fuller.
Well, yeah, you might say that's true. Of course, I don't want to really get out here and harp on that because what's in the past is in the past, you know, and I'm thinking about today and the future. Robert and Ron Fuller is probably one of the, better athletes in the wrestling business today. And, what I'm here for is to wrestle the best and prove myself. And I don't want to sit out here and say I want to apologize to anybody or to nobody for anything because, like I said, what's happened in the past is in the past. But I'm here to get into wrestling again. I've had a few problems. When I left here, I had a little bit of a back injury on account of Robert Fuller, but that goes along with it. But now I'm in good shape, and I'm ready to go, and I'm just hoping that the promoters will put me against some of the best athletes that they got and let me do my thing, let me prove myself. You might say that I've had a little change of heart or whatever, but I'm here ready to go.
That's something that I was going to mention. I saw that definite change of personality and attitude in Jimmy Golden recently in the arenas. We have a little bit of videotape on a situation in which Ron Fuller was... there were a lot of people on Fuller and Armstrong in this Texas death match. Very important piece of film. We'll be showing this in its entirety a little later on in today's program. And... Fuller all but out over on the side, and it's about 4 on Armstrong.
Yeah, well, what you see there is Bob Armstrong is bleeding badly, and Ron Fuller is getting the heck beat out of him over there. It's more like 4 or 5 on 1 there, and what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And I really don't know what came over me right here, but I went down in the ring, and I felt like I should do something, because, like I say, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and this was wrong. Bob Armstrong was down bleeding, the man's already hurt, and Ron Fuller was over there. I don't know what that Jap did to him, but he done something to put him out, and so, it's time to clean it up a little bit. So, I just went in to, do what was right, because, this ain't right here, what's going on, so... You can take it from there, Charlie.
Indeed, Jimmy.
Like I say, don't let me sit here and say that I'm apologizing to anybody because I'm not. I just, I want to be here to do some wrestling and like I said, may the promoters give me the best competition that they can because that's what I want. I'm ready to get it on. I got my wrestling shoes on right now.
To further reveal what Golden was all about at this point, here's a match from television between Jimmy Golden and Jimmy Jones.
Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones. At 232 pounds from Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Golden. Jimmy Golden.
Golden taking on Jimmy Jones, and of course, main man of controversy in the ring right now.
Certainly, and he's built all that controversy around himself. After this match, we'll be inviting Jimmy Golden to the dance floor. Take a look once again at the controversial weight. Jones going after Golden. Golden takes a hike and will take a breather with a 10 count on the outside of the ring. Certainly one thing's for sure, Jimmy will win this match, Charles.
Jimmy will win the match. Lock up again. It's Golden. With the ride, takedown.
I'd be anxious to ask Jimmy Golden some questions about the incident involving his cousin, Ron Ford, the Tennessee stud, in the match with the Bass brothers. Ron is on. As we mentioned earlier, Don Bass has joined John Valiant on the broken leg list, and Ron Ford, the Tennessee stud, out of action indefinitely.
Golden takes his man head first into that turnbuckle. Boot to the midsection. Golden opening up on Jones.
You know, I do believe that Jimmy Golden is more comfortable wrestling the style we're seeing today than he was in the several weeks that he altered his style to get alongside his cousin, Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud. I'm anxious to ask Jimmy some questions about this thing.
I am too. Some questions have been asked Jimmy already, Les, but as of such, I have heard none that made any sense whatsoever.
The answers are not exactly what we call concise and to the point.
Exactly right. Right now, he's opening up on Jimmy Jones.
Golden shooting his man in, catches him with a kick, goes to work on Jones. With back with a headlock now.
Controversy about the legality of some of Golden's rules that he follows in that ring. Certainly they are questionable.
Jones catching him and doubling up with that elbow, moving in now on Golden. Another shot to the midsection. Jones catapults him cross corner. Moves in again, and Jimmy Jones having things his way here as Golden pulls himself back into those ropes, calls for the break. Jones lays a token knee in there. Doubles him up with a shot to the midsection as he comes off the ropes.
Takes him in. Golden catching Jones with the boot to the face. Hooks that neck breaker. Pulls his man up. Does not even go for the pin. And again, neck breaker by Jimmy Golden. And he has the match over Jimmy Jones.
Jimmy Golden with a win in a decisive decision over Jimmy Jones.
Our next video, weeks later, shows how much confidence the Tennessee stud had in his cousin at that point. They were just days away from an extremely dangerous double bull rope match against Ron and Don Bass.
Get into it, I'd like to say, I know a lot of people out there are probably very confused, and I never thought that I'd see myself standing here or sitting here on the same set with Jimmy Golden, because there's been a lot of bad blood between myself and Jimmy, my brother and Jimmy. But nonetheless, I think I have seen a change in Jimmy Golden. I've had hundreds of fans from around this part of the country say, take Jimmy Golden back. He has had a change of heart. He's a good man now. And I tell you what, I've had some great partners in my time, but I don't think anybody can do a better job than that man sitting right there.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, Ron. I tell you, it's been a long time that we've been together and what have you, and it really gets me right here, and I'm just glad that we're together, man, and we're going to raise some cane. We're going to get rid of some New York trash is what we're going to do.
After seeing this, it seemed that they were both ready for the unique event, even though it was the first time they had both been in the ring since the night 2 years earlier when Ron's father was injured. Watch the next video. Maybe only once. it's hard to deal with.
Talking about Charlie
Let's
Platt.
roll the film if we can.
Let me tell you something. They're going to give me a medal, baby. An honor medal. Because I have come up with the greatest plan, and it all fit together like a real small puzzle.
Well, what we're seeing here is you and Ron Bass coming back into the ring. The inside stepper we're told Ron Fuller has on Donnie Bass. At this point, the leg of Don Bass was broken. But you and Ron Bass lash each arm, each wrist of Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud, string him up between corners, Jimmy, and just literally start to pound on him.
He had it coming. That jerk has had it coming for all of his born days. He has broke leg after leg, and right there he was going to break Donnie Bass's leg, and there was enough of it. He ain't going to break no more legs because he ain't here no more. And I'm going to tell you something, Tennessee stud. You're going to be bye-bye. He's gone for good because I seen him haul him off like the Tennessee trash that he is. And right here you see he's going to get the licking of his life. You people thought that he was indestructible. Baby, I fixed him. I destroyed him. He is out. There will be no more Tennessee stud. I'm going to be your stud.
Let me ask you a question,
super
stud. Were you involved with Johnny Valiant? Because Valiant came to this area as the stud's partner and later turned on him. They had their altercations. Valiant's leg is broken. Were you involved in that in any way?
All I can say for Johnny Valiant, he couldn't get the job done, baby. He couldn't get the job done, but Jimmy Golden could. And right here you see Jimmy Golden doing it, baby. I'm taking the mask off of that Tennessee stud. He is no longer the Tennessee stud. I'm the stud.
You're saying that
Super stud.
Ron Fuller had this coming, that he deserved it. But, Jimmy, did you ever see him lash anyone to a ring, make them defenseless, and then beat them?
That's true. I have seen them Fuller boys do horrible things that you cannot even imagine. You cannot even imagine. Them boys have had a silver spoon stuck in their mouth ever since the day they was born, and when the going got tough, the Fullers scooted out. They found them on the back door exit, brother. When it gets too tough for them, they get a way out, baby. But right here, there's no way out. I wish you people could have been there to... Indestructible Tennessee stud is gone. They hauled him out, the Tennessee trash. And he is gone bye-bye. There will be no more Tennessee stud. The only stud you're going to see is super stud.
Charlie,
You don't have no reasoning, sensible reasoning for all this taking place.
Right here is your Tennessee stud. I told you one time, and I'll tell you again, he's a no-good jerk that likes to break people's bones, but he's not here no more. There's your Tennessee stud, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to all you wonderful fans, you've made it possible for me. You made it possible. Where you going, Charlie Platt? You little brown-nosing jerk. You're a knob polisher, boy. Anytime I want the Fullers to know something, I'll just tell you, you're going to leave too.
I don't know about all you fans who just watched that video, but once was absolutely enough for me. It was a hard video to watch. The next video in this story was not going to make Southeastern fans happy, but I kind of understood what was going on in the mind of someone who had twice suffered that kind of betrayal.
With Jimmy Golden, and I just got through seeing a neck specialist here that I've seen several times over the past few years. I've got a bad neck problem. I've always had a bad neck problem, and he's advised me that I shouldn't wrestle for at least 3 or 4 weeks. But in this sport, athletes normally get well a lot quicker than the average person does, and I think that I'll be back in the ring in the next couple of weeks or so. However, I do want to, the reason that I called y'all to come to Tennessee is this has been a very tough time for me the last month, 5-6 weeks in my life. I had the problem with John Valiant, who I brought from New York, who I didn't know very well, and it was to be expected that man would possibly turn on me. But this thing with Jimmy Golden is really more than physically hurting my body, and it's been a real mental torment to me, Charlie. I really thought that I could trust Jimmy Golden. I guess I was a real fool to think so, and my brother told me so, and I guess he was absolutely right about it. Well, the reason I called you up here is, like I said, I'm not supposed to compete in the ring for the next month at least, the doctor tells me, but I'm going to be wrestling again very soon, but I'm not going to wrestle in the Southeastern area anymore. I've given this a lot of thought. I feel like that I have been humiliated in this part of the country by the things that's happened to me, especially over this incident with Jimmy Golden. And what I called you up here for is to tell you and to tell the people there in that part of the country that they've all been very kind to me, and I really have enjoyed it. I love that part of the country, but I don't want to compete there anymore. I don't want to be around Jimmy Golden. I don't want to be around the humiliation that I've really suffered there in the past 5 or 6 weeks. And what I want to do, Charlie, is I brought this belt. I know you're going to be here today, and I'm vacating the Southeastern Championship. I would certainly like the title shot with Harley Race, and I know that there's some tremendous wrestlers in the southeastern part of the United States right now. I know that there's going to be some fine competitors that'll lay his hands on this belt, and he may be the next world heavyweight champion. But at this point in time in my life, I don't have the heart, the desire, I don't have the peace of mind, I don't have the things necessary to compete like a man should anymore. And that thing has been very, very personally is one of the finest things that I've ever owned is a Southeastern belt, and I do hate to give it up, but I cannot in good faith come back to the Southeastern United States and compete, and that's it.
There you see the incident taking place. It's certainly surprising that Ron Fuller surrendered the Southeastern title, but when you get to thinking about the family aspect that's involved with cousin Jimmy Golden, there's a lot of problems.
I was about to say, Charlie, I don't think it's the case that Ron's running away, walking away, whatever. Certainly a lot of mental aggravation. I can appreciate that. This is a sport that I've always been proud of as a competitor, as a wrestling commentator. But what's happened needs a little time, I guess, for Ron to clear it out of his mind. It's not the body that's bothering him, it's the mental thing. And I can appreciate that. We're going to wish Ron the best of luck.
Well, that's all I can say is with the incident and with the comments of Ron, best wishes to the Tennessee stud Ron.
This is the last video. And when I saw it, I was extremely concerned about the mental state of Jimmy Golden.
Ron Fuller in the ring, and the challenges continue to come in from wrestlers from all around the country, Jimmy, and frankly, the fans are still shocked as to why you would do such a thing.
Can you imagine that, man? I tell you what, I feel like a real Hollywood star all of a sudden. People coming in from everywhere. Friends of Ron Fuller's done challenging me, getting ready, man. There's going to be the greatest record set ever in the Southeastern area. I'm going to beat them all, baby, line them up, and bring them on. Look at here at the Tennessee stud. That's all that's left of him right there. You know, the man fell right into the spider's web, and I ate him alive. Thanks to all of you people out there. I knew you was on my side all the way. And I'm going to tell you something. The Tennessee stud is going bye-bye. I'm going to take care of business. Robert Fuller, all his friends. You know, it makes me feel like Superman almost, man. They're all coming right at me, baby. But that's what I want them to do, because I am one of the greatest that's ever been, baby, and I'm here to take on all challenges, especially from them Fuller boys.
Well, I think the question in everyone's mind right now is still, why would you do such a thing?
Well, it's like this, Brother Charlie Platt. The Tennessee stud and his brother are Tennessee trash. They're no good. The only thing that they ever think about is breaking legs and breaking bones, especially that Tennessee stud with his inside toe hold. But he has broke his last leg. The stud I saw him haul him off. I saw him haul the boy off like the Tennessee trash that he is. And he won't be with us no longer. And the day that he does get out of the hospital, he better be facing me. And if he don't, he is a coward. A gutless coward. That's what I'm telling you. A gutless coward, the Tennessee stud. He is no longer the Tennessee stud. I am your stud.
Watching that, after seeing all the other videos, I could understand why Jimmy Golden was going to be one of the most hated and despised heels in Southeastern history. I hope you've enjoyed this unique ride through wrestling history. I think this is one of the best examples of how old school wrestling, when done right, was the greatest sport on earth. Hey, speaking of old school, you can find that in abundance on TennesseeStudStreaming.com. Almost 200 Southeastern, Continental, and USA television shows are there now, and more are being added daily. Stud stories, over 100 short rides with the stud, stud cast archives, Ask the Stud shows, and all 9 of the new stud casts. $4.99 a month, that's 17 cents a day. You can save 15% when you purchase the year subscription for $49.99. It's the best deal in wrestling. Fans, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of When Wrestling Was Wrestling. Join us all next week for the future Mr. Olympia Jerry Stubbs special.